Hey folks, Sully here, and today I have got our Mythic Sentinel kill. So I figured I'd just do, hopefully, a fairly quick video just going over some of the differences between Heroic and just calling out some useful things that we did to help you down this boss. So overall, the boss it's fairly similar to Heroic. There are just some additional mechanics to be aware of. And there is a lot more damage required, as you would expect, and you do take a lot more damage as well. So, first things first then, the way that we decided to do this was we pretty much kept the boss in the middle of the room as where it stands, but we did turn him to the left. And the reason why we did this is because we had most people standing towards the left-hand side of the boss, because everybody that gets one of the pulls, which you'll see in a minute, would drop them along the left-hand side of the raid room. This was, so as you can see here, they're all getting the pulls. They run and they line them up on the left-hand side of the room. The tank, the Demon Hunter tank, gets targeted with the obliteration cannon or whatever, the tank bomb essentially, and he will go as far away as possible, as the amount of damage that this does is significantly increased. So when you come across this later on in the fight, you may want to use things like either personal defensives or AMZ or whatever it is that you might have as part of your raid group. Now when I get it as Brewmaster, and other tanks may be able to do this some way, I don't necessarily need to do this, and I'll show you what I do in just a moment. The next difference then is throughout the fight you will also get one of these moving walls moving along at various stages, so you will need to use your cloak as normal to pass through it. However, as tanks, it barely damaged me. If I had my Celestial Infusion up and I staggered right after taking the hit and so on, it was fine. So I really didn't worry about these walls at all, and I don't think the Demon Hunter did as well. So you can see I just let it pass over me, and you can see the amount of damage that it actually does to me. But the rest of the raid will be needing to use their cloaks. The next thing to talk about then is the soak, so the group soak. So you can see here it has gone out, and what we do here is we just stand it fairly close to the boss in the middle of the room, and we split our raid up into two, so melee and ranged DPS. Healers didn't soak this. We just had melee, then ranged, and if you could soak two, then and you could get back in time, then you would. So when you take the soak, you get knocked back, and if you can make it back in time, if you can take two, then great. If not, that's how we did it, melee and range. So just here, you can see when I pick up the boss, I pop my Transcendence ability, and I pop it just as close to the wall as possible, because when this wall, and I get the tank bomb here, so you can see when I get the tank bomb in just a second, here it is, after here, yeah, so I'll pop my Transcendence here. I can see that the tank bomb's coming, so I use my cloak, I go through, and I go far away on the left-hand side. I have enough time to roll and pop back just before the intermission starts, so I drop the tank bomb on the left-hand side. Now, when the wall starts moving down, it clears that puddle, so it will not be in the room. Now, I can do that for every tank bomb that I take. Only the second tank bomb do I need to think about what I'm doing, and I'll cover what I do to give you some ideas. During the intermission, there will be two ads, and they spawn at in different locations. You ideally want to grip them together, and you want to nuke them down as fast as they can. They got deleted pretty quickly. If the moving wall touches them, it is essentially a wipe. If it touches one of them, it does massive damage. If it touches both, it will wipe you. So once you've got these down, then you are going to want to make your way through the intermission, not hitting any of these big bubbles because you do get knockbacks. Making sure that you use your cloak to go through the wall, and then you have to break the shields on Sentinel to carry on the fight. Throughout the intermissions, the different intermissions, this damage does increase and you will start to take more and more damage throughout this phase. So during the last one, healers will want to make sure that they have cooldowns and you stagger them properly. You are using barrier, you are using darkness to keep everybody alive and to get this shield down. That essentially is the entire fight. However, there are just a couple of things that I will share with you just to hopefully help you in how we do it. Exactly the same, keep him in the middle, put all of these pulls on the left-hand side, and just keep going. I taunt here, the other tank jumps out. We may potentially use, so we used an AMZ there. There are some overlaps that come with these soaks. Just try and do the best that you can with any defensives and such. I am going to get the tank bomb in 10 seconds, and this one is a little bit trickier than what I did before. So I've popped this, my Transcendence. I can see that the tank bomb is coming, so I also can see that this wall is coming. Now, I was quite fortunate there because I could use my cloak and make it all the way through. Sometimes, though, dependent on damage and timings and such, that wall might be quite far away. So what I did was I used my cloak through this main wall. The other wall then came towards me, and I just made sure that I had 6 stacks of Celestial Infusion, and I also had either Dampen Harm or Diffuse Magic to help mitigate some of that, and I made it through fine. On the way back, though, especially if you had to run through the wall, when you drop it back, you can't just transcend straight away. And the reason being is you'll go the other side of the wall and the main wall hasn't gone through yet. The moving wall hasn't gone through yet. So I just make sure that that has passed and then use Transcendence and then get back in time for the soak. The next thing then that I want to show you, I think it really is the only main thing to think about, is the final intermission. So if I find it, so it's here. So the final intermission is happening, and we get the 2 adds. We get them as close to each other as possible. Now, you can see that the wall is coming down. What you need to do is you need to run to these 3 here, where it is. You can see these 3 balls here, because the path clear goes up here, round, down, and then up. Where those pulls are that we've dropped on the left-hand side, this moving wall is going to clear them. So what you do is you stand here, you aim your camera to the left-hand side of the room, you wait for the wall to come down, and then you cloak through it. That way, you can then just run straight up the left-hand side. So it's come past, it's cleared all the puddles, you go through the bubble, and then you can run up the left-hand side. Very quick, very simple way of making that 3rd intermission a lot simpler for yourself. And hopefully, if you get to this part where everybody is near enough as alive, you can see that we have 3 people down. They are 3 DPS. The healers managed to keep us all alive. You should be able to down the boss. Anyway, they are the main differences. Hope it helps. And yeah, I'll keep going as we're getting these bosses down. See you in the next one.